A week ago, it was a story of the young and the old. The youngster stumbled, but still beat everyone in the field, except two, including the old man on his Honda, who beat everyone in the field for the first time since 1995. Tonight, Pastrana, LaRocco, and the points leader do it again in round 4. From Bank One Ballpark, the home of the World Series champion Diamondbacks, it's round 4 of EA Sports Supercross presented by Speed Stick. Hello, everybody. Art Ekman along with former champion David Bailey. Well, Mike LaRocco winning his first Supercross in 7 years was a thrill. He stopped a 2-win streak of David VUILLEMIN, but some of the big stories happened this morning. One of them, Travis Pastrana, just this far away from his first 250 win, had his problems in practice, David.
He did, and I was looking right at it when it happened. He was going over the big triple jump before they entered the tunnel, and he landed with his leg out, which would have worked fine if the bike didn't wash out, but it did. Twisted his knee, and you know, he's had ice on it and a smile ever since, but that's just Travis. He smiles. It takes a lot to slow this kid down, but it's his confidence that I'm concerned about.
There are 2 high-profile riders yet to see victory.
2 guys have been missing in action this year. Last year's champion and a 7-time champion. When will they be found? With Jeremy McGrath, he's off to his worst start ever in EA Sports Supercross. A lot of it due to arm pump. I talked to his trainer, Todd Jacobs. He said they pulled out all the stops, massage techniques, diet, everything. He says we'll see the real Jeremy tonight. And then there's our defending champion, Ricky Carmichael, still a little iffy after that big crash in Anaheim. He's adjusted the Honda, raised the back end up, trying to get his corner speed back. Now let's take a look at this track.
Well, first of all, I love this layout. As soon as they hit the first turn, the riders are forced with all kinds of choices to make as they head into these rhythm sections. And that leads up to the tunnel jump. After that, they make a nice sweeper into the first whoop section. And this second triple highlighted in red. The riders that are taking the inside through here cannot triple that. So I expect to see a lot of block passing right there. After that, it's under the tunnel and into the final whoop section.
Back in Phoenix, Arizona, as we check out the starting lineup for our 250's first qualifying heat. Mike LaRocco, Ezra Lusk, Kevin Windham, and Ricky Carmichael. Looks pretty stacked there, David.
It does. And LaRocco, according to his team manager's watch, was the fastest in practice. If you go over to the Honda pits, they're saying Ricky was, so we'll find out here in a minute.
The rest of our starting lineup to get our night in Phoenix, Arizona underway. Don't forget the top 4 will graduate out of each qualifying heat. There's Ricky Carmichael putting the glasses on now.
He looks good on this soil. This dirt, we've talked about in years past, looks like they hauled it in from his hometown. It's a little sandier, breaks down a little bit more forgiving than that hard-packed slick stuff.
He won here last year. All 20 laps he led, passing Lusk in the first lap, and just dominated, winning by 12.26 seconds. We're getting set now to see who will qualify. The top 4, the rest going to the semifinal round. 30-second board sideways. We're almost ready for action from Phoenix. Carmichael with great position on the inside moves into the lead. LaRocco is in 3rd. We've got Kyle Lewis, number 23, also in the action. So it's Carmichael, Lewis, LaRocco. LaRocco, number 5. 23 is Kyle Lewis on the red bike. Former national Japanese champion a couple of years in a row.
That is some serious airtime right there. Windham jumping right in behind LaRocco now. These guys are going to be bearing down on Kyle Lewis. Great start for Kyle. There goes LaRocco. Look at Mike. He's able to take the inside right there. That prevents you from getting block passed. And he's such a good flat corner guy that you might be able to use that the whole time and not lose time. It's a little faster for most of the guys to go out wide and use the berm. Mike seems to be able to corner on the inside and not lose much time.
Unfortunately, our scoring system is down. We'll try to recap it as best we can as Mike LaRocco moves into second place behind a blistering pace. And number 14, Kevin Windham, is on the move.
He's just got a great opportunity right here to watch how Mike goes to work. Coming through the pack, trying to wheel in Ricky, and if Mike's going to catch him, Kevin's going to see how he did it. Valuable.
Lewis, number 23, having trouble, but here comes lesson number 11, and Jean-Sebastian Waugh. Waugh's number 40, and number 14 is your Windham. Kevin's been having his problems psychologically. He just hasn't been in there. He's been getting good starts, David.
Well, you know, I haven't had a chance to really talk with Kevin that much, and I did Sunday after last weekend's race, and he had arm pump. The same problem we've been seeing with Jeremy McGrath. Kevin's had that, except so much more so throughout his career, and you can see how fast the guy is. It's unbelievable. He's reeling in LaRocco here, no problem. But once your arms start to pump up, you can't do anything, and that's what's really hurting Kevin. It's hurting his whole career.
A real battle going on for the final transfer spot. Kyle Lewis in fourth, but that's where Luskin fifth. That'll be a good challenge. As we check out third place, Kevin Windham once again behind LaRocco. Windham going to the inside. Likes that route a little bit better.
He's got a good line coming through the tunnel. He actually never even sits down on that corner. He just stands up, slides it through there. And if he's on the right and LaRocco's on the left, and they go into that right-hand corner, he's got that pass made. Another thing, too, that I didn't realize about Windham was he came into the season with a broken finger on his left hand. He wasn't able to ride as much as he liked, and everyone knows that if you're not able to ride a lot coming into the first races, chances are you're going to ride tight.
Ricky Carmichael looks like he's back in top form after that injury in the opening round at Anaheim.
He is. You know, he doesn't seem that much different in the pits. You know, he was disguising the discomfort he was in before. But you can see it on the racetrack. He goes out and he attacks practice. It looks like he's the fastest guy.
This means a lot of confidence to Kevin Windham if it's possible to wheel in Mike LaRocco for second place, even though this is only a qualifying round.
Yeah, he would like to try to get up, keep the pressure on Mike, try to reel in Ricky, and at least if he still gets third, at least he knows he's in the hunt. At least, you know, if you don't think you have the speed, that's a real bummer for your confidence going into the main. But if you know you're as fast, look at he triples through there twice, trying some different things and sizing up LaRocco, going, okay, if I triple that, is it any faster or not? It seemed like he gained a little bit, but he took a little time setting himself up to do that.
So a fantastic loop section, and they come back with a triple and the quadruple on that 250 machine.
Watch Kevin.
Oh, LaRocco goes head over heels, and Windham just barely got around him. A very alert move by Kevin Windham saved Mike LaRocco from maybe a season-ending injury.
Now, he had a nanosecond to make up his mind on what to do right there. Here comes Luss, so LaRocco's troubles aren't over.
Mike LaRocco casing that very difficult high but short triple before the tunnel.
He seems to be okay. That's the main thing. We'll take another look. That's the corner right before it. It doesn't give you much run. He gets out a little bit wide. Didn't get the run he wanted. He could tell in the air it was a problem. Kevin already knew what he was going to do.
A ragdoll, and Kevin Windham gets around him. Mike LaRocco still in a qualifying position, though, in fourth. Ricky Carmichael, number 4, has just checked out. Hang on, the champion is on the way back.
He's got the fastest lap also.
Ricky going over the finish line jump, checking things out in this 8-lap qualifier. Carmichael fighting back from that crash in the season's opener for his only 20th place finish in his career. But he's shown us what a real champion is like riding with the pain.
And in that crash, he crashed right in front of LaRocco. LaRocco ran over him. So these guys don't have much time to make up their mind on what to do when they're jumping things together. That's a 65-foot triple right out of the corner into another one. They're coming down from, it seems like, 30 feet in the air. That was a tremendous impact that LaRocco was able to absorb and get back in this race and probably still make the main. Unbelievable.
Carmichael Windham, Luskin, LaRocco at top 4 with Michael Byrne, a Honda rider out of Australia, on the bubble. But I'm not sure he can make up the time.
Ricky's handlebars are so low Almost looks like he landed hard on the jump. They came down. He just decided to leave him that way, but he's making it work.
Morocco under the tunnel. As the white flag is waving, he'll come out of those whoops and turn right, going over the finish line jump. You'll see the white flag. We're on the final lap.
A great shot of him, Art, jumping into that whoop section almost halfway in. Those things are about 3 feet deep. Incredible the way these guys are able to get through the whoop sections. Here comes Ricky. Down the middle, it's starting to get a little bit of a rut, but that rut will get so much worse than the actual whoops that are consistent. They'll probably move out of it in the main event. Quadruple. This is the corner that sets up for the triple where LaRocco had his problems. Ricky's just whipping it through there. Feeling it right now.
He's winning the battle with Jeremy to see who can reach the podium first. He scored back-to-back fourth-place finishes. The checkers for Carmichael. So Ricky now has won 3 of the 4 qualifying heats on the season. Despite that tremendous injury in the first round, where it cracked a bone in the clutch hand, the left hand.
Good ride for Ezra, too, to get up in there. Not a good start. He got closed off right away and rode up through everyone.
Carmichael heads our Honda leaderboard with Wyndham, Lusk, and LaRocco going directly to the main event. Byrne, Waugh, Huffman, and others on to the semifinals. Back in Phoenix, leading off our lineups, David VUILLEMIN, the points leader, along with Travis Pastrana. It'll be interesting to see how that knee injury reacts. Former 125 winners, Nathan Ramsey, Stefan Roncada, Tim Ferry, Ernesto Fonseca. We've got a lot of ex-125 champions, but right now, David VUILLEMIN trying to protect his points lead is right near the box, and on the other side of the box, Travis Pastrana.
Sign is sideways.
And we're set to go now for the second qualifying round. Pastrana getting out of that box area pretty good. In fact, he's in the lead, but the lead is now being challenged. Pastrana, amazing off the gate.
What's more amazing is that besides I saw the crash, saw him twist his knee and ride right back to the truck. Rumor is, around the pits, it's hard to get the exact story. They're trying to keep the lid on it, but his knee actually popped out of joint and went back in. So imagine the pain.
McGrath having a big battle now, loses third. And it's, Roncada took it away from him. McGrath has dipped back out of qualifying position now. Number 26, Nicholas Way, is in second place behind Travis Pastrana, who looks like he wants to just check out of it. There's number 21.
Travis
26 Way.
Golden opportunity right now because all this block passing going on. Look at this. That takes time, and it lets Travis go out there and take his time, which is exactly what he needs with that knee right now.
Okay, you got Roncada on the Kawasaki, number 21, and battling out is Fonseca. Fonseca makes the pass on the number 26 Yamaha Nicholas Way.
Pretty nice showing for Fonseca, who sat out ever since that first round at Anaheim, finished on the podium there, injured his elbow right after that, and he hasn't been fit enough to race until now, and he's right back in it.
Number 25 at the end of that chain is Nathan Ramsey on a Honda 4-stroke. What happened to Jeremy McGrath? He had a great break in third place out of the first turn.
He just got mixed up in a battle as they approached that triple. He wasn't able to jump it, cased it as a double. And he might be mad right now. And that's probably what he needs, just to get mad, feel like, you know what, the heck with these guys. I need to get up front where I belong. And maybe he'll start riding aggressive and do it to others instead of having it done to him.
As we check out the action here in the second qualifying heat of the 250s, just moments ago, our Davey Coombs talked with the first qualifier winner, Ricky Carmichael.
RC, look like you're right at home back on the tracks in Tallahassee with this dirt here in Phoenix.
Thanks, Davey. I tell you, the Honda's working great out there. Got a good start, and, you know, everybody's riding so fast. That's what it's going to take, and I need to do that in the main. You know, I've been great in practice and great in the heat races, but all that doesn't matter if you can't perform in the 20 laps.
A smile on Ricky Carmichael's face. The defending champion is back, starting with some momentum, as we have number 21, Stefan Roncada, coming off a brutal 17th place in the second round with a 7th last week at Anaheim, and he's got an encouraging ride here in second place. just checking out is number 199, and I can't believe what I'm seeing when he quadruples and doubles and goes through those whoops with that bad knee.
Well, this kid, we've seen him before racing. I talk about it all the time, kind of joking around, really, but there's seriousness in that. This kid can ride with a cast. He can ride with no rear brake. He can ride with no goggles. We've seen him do so many amazing things, and this twisted knee is just, it's nothing. Look at that. Over the quadruple, perfectly smooth. Into that left-hander. This is where he crashed, right there. Takes a nice soft landing, gets right back into these loops. It looks perfect to me, Art, so far. A faster lap than Carmichael in the first heat already. A 51.5 to Carmichael's 52.5.
What does a knee injury like that, and maybe trying to protect it just a little bit when you're putting it out or keeping it on, and how does that affect your balance?
Well, I had a knee injury that I really never wanted to advertise when I was racing, but the problem is it hurts excruciating to the point where you almost feel like pulling off the race. Only at times. As long as everything goes right, he doesn't make major mistakes, or if I have to put it down wrong, he should be okay.
Here's the battle for the final transfer spot. Any one of 4 riders can do it. McGrath and VUILLEMIN are right behind Nathan Ramsey, 25, and Nicholas Way, 26.
And behind those guys is Tim Ferry, so all the Yamaha guys struggling right here.
26 Way. Got the good start, has held on to a good position now. If he can hold off Ramsey. Ramsey on that Honda.
And you can see these guys, Jeremy back there behind him was trying to figure out if he could still jump that triple while they're playing block each other, and he might just end up getting passed by VUILLEMIN, trying to look for a way around. The only other start I could think of that VUILLEMIN didn't get very good was San Diego in his heat race. He went nowhere, had to go to the semi. This might be a blessing for Jeremy if he has to go to the semi, because he'll loosen up even more and learn the track, go into the main event a little bit irritated.
Number 199. This would be his 3rd consecutive qualifying heat victory, as Nathan Ramsey has pretty much nailed down that final spot.
You see the gap back to Jeremy.
Only the top 4 qualify. Here comes Ferry, number 15. 4-stroke Yamaha went into the season after arthroscopic knee surgery, and is just getting his strength back.
Nice move by VUILLEMIN. He quadruples into the corner, takes Nick Way out. Actually, Nick Way went off the track, so he's definitely in the semi. Jeremy's got to make that pass to get in the main.
Jeremy McGrath pounding Nathan Ramsey right now. I'm not sure he goes along with your philosophy of wanting to ride a semifinal.
I'm telling you what, if I had a way to communicate with him, the team manager, I would say sandbag this thing. Get in the semi, get out there on the track, loosen up, ride like you know how. Quit riding around with these guys.
This is not a physiological problem. The guy is in great shape, and he can handle that many extra laps.
It was just so much more pressure this year than he's ever experienced.
Meanwhile, here comes VUILLEMIN. VUILLEMIN, number 12. 2 wins to start the season. A great 2nd place finish in the 3rd round of last week.
Look at the landing off that quadruple. You got about half a second, if that, to get ready for that left, and then here comes the triple.
And it's a short triple. Boy, you better be able to get out of that turn and underneath the tunnel. 1 lap to go. The white flag is waved for Pastrana. And this kid never ceases to amaze me.
He's cruising right now at 53.4, faster than Carmichael in the first heat. And I talked about the soil and how the track breaks down. In places it'll be a little bit faster, but in others a little rutted up and maybe a little bit more tricky. So I think these lap times, as he heel clickers over the quadruple jump that a lot of guys aren't even doing, Travis is on right now, knee or no knee.
Unbelievable. The checkers for Travis Pastrana. And probably one of his greatest qualifying victories of all time. Here comes Jeremy McGrath to the final transfer spot. Can he get around Nathan Ramsey? No.
That was close.
Number 25 held on by a bike wheel or 2.
Jeremy almost lost the position of VUILLEMIN, who came in there hot. So I think this is good. It didn't hurt VUILLEMIN or LaRocco having to go to the semi. They both came back to win main event.
That's going to be an incredible semi as we take a look at the Suzuki stats. Pastrana, Roncada, Fonseca, and Ramsey go on to the main event. But some heavy talent, like two-time winner this year, David VUILLEMIN, will have to go on to the semifinal round.
A very nice heat race, Ryan. Looks like you love this track.
Definitely like the soil. It's so much nicer. I mean, California is great and all, but when you get out here just to some loam, it suits my style a lot. This is an outdoor style track too, so hopefully we'll see what happens.
How's the knee?
Well, the knee is 100% for racing. I say you can race through anything. VUILLEMIN had knee surgery just last week, and he came out and rode. I mean, just part of the part of the racing, I guess. But I feel good enough to go out there and race, and hopefully we'll get my first win here. Thank you.
Travis Pastrana limping off that podium actually after the twisted knee in practice earlier today. Our rider of the week for EA Sports has recently put an impressive 3 weeks back-to-back. We're talking, of course, about David VUILLEMIN of Team Yamaha, who visited this weekend with our Jeff Emig.
So you're taking it and taking it in stride, race by race?
Yeah, I think so. You know, that's only 3 races. And, you know, a lot of people are riding pretty good, and you know, I've been doing okay, but you know, just want to keep working, and I don't want to look at the points right now. I just want to, you know, focus on my riding and on race by race.
Focus on being the Cobra?
Yeah, I think if I can be myself and I can be like smooth and you know, you've been racing, so you know, like when everything is good and everything you want to do, you do it, and so if everything clicks good, I think it's gonna be good.
Are you having fun this year?
Yeah, a lot of fun. You know,
looks like that you're having fun when you're on the
bike.
bike.
Yeah, I go on a bike. That's the way you feel when everything, like I said, like everything is going really good. The bike is set, and I don't mess with the clickers or anything on the bike. I just run it. It's great, and I just focus on the track, on racing, and that works for me right now. And I hope it's going to stay this way this year. And you know, I'm sure if I stay like on top of the 70, racing for the title, I'm going to have more pressure going on towards the end of the series. But I think I'll be able to stay focused on racing and do good.
Today in our Honda Flashback, we revisit the win of Honda rider Mike LaRocco. They call him the Rock because he's steady as a rock, and he proved it again last week in Anaheim, taking the checkers for his 9th career Supercross victory. Can LaRocco do it again? Can VUILLEMIN, who had his knee pulled back into place, get on that podium? Well, the big guys are getting ready. The main event is coming up next. LaRocco, last week's winner, falls in qualifying. He needed to hustle to get back up to qualify.
He did, though. That guy is so strong. He rebounded.
We'll get $1,500. Powerade hole shot winner. Pastrana, Carmichael, Roncada. Most anybody can win this thing. Fonseca had a good qualifying round. Lusk consistent. Mike LaRocco getting right in there after a 4th qualifying position.
Wyndham has been fast. I'm thinking that it's going to be Travis Pastrana and Ricky Carmichael. These two guys have the most motivation.
And the main event underway. Jeremy McGrath, a good start. But leaping into the lead was number 24, Nathan Ramsey, on the 4-stroke Honda. Oh, no, that's Fonseca. Fonseca on the 2-stroke, number 24. My mistake. McGrath in 2nd place. David VUILLEMIN in 3rd. Then it's Pastrana, Ricky Carmichael, Roncada, and Lusk.
Unbelievable. There goes McGrath to the lead.
Jeremy McGrath makes a great pass to the corner. The fans are standing on their feet. They want to see this kid come through. Number 24 right behind him, Fonseca, and VUILLEMIN. Ricky Carmichael is in a very good position to move up, and he now makes the pass into the tunnel, and VUILLEMIN comes back into moves, makes the mistake, and Carmichael into 3rd, as we see Jeremy going over the big jump.
Now we'll see what McGrath can do. This is where he belongs. He's been back there getting bad starts, messing around with guys he doesn't normally race with. And the corner he took over the lead is the corner he got messed with in the heat race that sent him to the semi. So I think he's riding a little bit irritated, a little bit more motivation than he normally does. At the start, I talked about the motivation of Carmichael and Pastrana. Carmichael feels like this is the week. He's feeling better. Pastrana, on the other hand, feels like he could have won the last 2 races. Feels like this is his night as well.
There's Ricky with VUILLEMIN right on his tail. Don't forget, it's a 20-lap race. The green mark next to Carmichael means he moved up on the last lap.
What a perfect situation for McGrath right now, who's been riding a little bit tight. He's got Fonseca behind him, who hasn't really been 100%. He hasn't even ridden the last 2 races. So he's a little bit of a buffer, and the longer he holds back that freight train of Carmichael and Pastrana, the better it's going to be for Jeremy, who made a little mistake right there, lost some time.
After a third in the opening round, Fonseca, that injured elbow, it flared up on him as he irritated it. And you're right, David, he hasn't raced in the last 2. He wants to make a big impression. Jeremy McGrath, it's his first lead of the season, which is incredible. You know, this is the first time in his career that he hasn't been on the podium at least once in the first 3 rounds. This could be the breakthrough race for Jeremy McGrath.
Well, I don't think that Fonseca is really riding going, I've got to get around Jeremy right now. I don't think he's riding that impatient. I think he's stoked to be where he is, and he's going to ride smart right here. That freight train of riders behind him, starting with Carmichael, those guys don't have any patience at all. They need to get around this guy and take care of McGrath right now. They know they can.
Well, Jeremy's not pulling away. Fonseca, Carmichael, but then VUILLEMIN, Pastrana, Mercado, and Ramsey are all in good shape.
Jeremy has got to hold off Fonseca to have a chance to win this race. I mean, Fonseca's able to find a way around. He's pressuring him. He's looking for a spot. More than I thought he would. That'll ruin Jeremy's confidence, and the next guy coming is Carmichael, and he will just go right in and put an aggressive move on him.
Jeremy McGrath, the most difficult time of his 13 years as a professional rider, trying to break out of a slump. Oh! Out of sorts, Fonseca. That gave the break for Carmichael to move into second.
It was a good move by Fonseca to get in there and block past Jeremy.
David VUILLEMIN block passes and moves up a notch.
That's the tough part about this racetrack. It's one of those tracks where you kind of don't even really want to be in the lead, because the fastest line, you leave the door wide open in so many places, and Fonseca just proved that. He tried to create something. Now look where he is. He's lost all those positions. It looks like even to Travis now.
VUILLEMIN where he wants to be, right behind Carmichael.
Well, he's got the leaders in his sights. Isn't it amazing? Both Jeremy and VUILLEMIN having to ride that semi. That's the kind of race that these guys don't want to have to spend any time in at all.
Pastrana fishtailing through the woods, trying to catch up.
But here they are, first and third.
The fans, they can't sit in their seats with this race. They're anticipating a big move by someone
This is
at any minute.
Set up all during the offseason. McGrath versus Carmichael. We're getting it.
This was a race, of course, that Carmichael dominated and broke loose and took off with the championship last year after the 2 were tied in points coming into the race. Carmichael just testing, putting the wheel out there. Jeremy trying to hold on to the lead. Carmichael wisely goes to back.
Watch the roof section as they cross the starting line over the tunnel. If Jeremy leaves the door open, it's a block pass at the end of this section. Ricky will go to Jeremy's left.
And VUILLEMIN might go right behind Carmichael. Carmichael, clean pass. Pastrana moves into third. VUILLEMIN back to fourth. Oh!
Saw that coming. It's a bummer to be out front when you got all that heat, because you've got to take a little bit slower line to protect. Jeremy had to do it after the finish line jump. Ricky was all over it. But Jeremy's smart. He's been around. He's won 7 of these championships. He should be able to just get comfortable with riding up front with these guys. He's been so far from that in the first 3 rounds. He's got to feel good about at least being in the battle for the lead.
Jeremy battling it out now with Travis Pastrana, with VUILLEMIN just waiting in the wings. Here comes Travis. Travis makes the move. Travis into second place. Travis might be the only one in that group right now who might be able to catch RC.
I said it at the start. I felt like it was going to be Carmichael and Pastrana. They've been the fastest all week. There's just no denying the sheer speed that these guys have. They just get a decent start. They're going to find their way to the front.
Since 1976, the defending champion has always won a race the following season by the 5th round. We're in round 4. Can Carmichael hold on and keep that alive, or can Pastrana keep it away? Here's VUILLEMIN, and Fonseca in front of Jeremy McGrath.
Well, VUILLEMIN tried to do what Fonseca tried to do to McGrath, and it worked. Neither one of them were able to do the triple, and Fonseca capitalized on it because McGrath had to double it. Fonseca almost landed on it. That was close. And Jeremy might be getting tight. I hope that wouldn't happen. I thought the semi would help, but he's really not riding like he was in those opening laps.
Okay. It's Carmichael, Pastrana, VUILLEMIN, Fonseca, and McGrath, our top 5 here in Phoenix, Arizona. Bank One Ballpark, a World Series crowd on hand. Here's our leader at Bank One Ballpark in Phoenix, Arizona, Ricky Carmichael, who ran so well here last year to take the momentum and just run away with the championship, is back there once again.
Yeah, the only difference really is McGrath was way back in the pack. This time Jeremy had the opportunity getting out front, couldn't hang on to it. And I had a feeling that if Ricky was able to get himself into the lead, having to pass a few guys, know he was faster, and hold on to this, he might be able to rattle off 4 or 5 wins in a row and establish some of the dominance that everyone expected. This could be the turning point for him.
The 9th lap of 20, so we're nearing the halfway mark.
Morocco on the move, coming up through the pack. Looks like just behind these guys, he may have moved around McGrath.
About a 4-second lead for Carmichael.
Nothing's safe with Travis Pastrana in second place. That kid can make up so much time. You saw him at San Diego, he was behind VUILLEMIN, in front of him here. Reel him in at the very end, didn't see the white flag, didn't know there was 2 laps to go.
David, do you think there's 2 different philosophies here in these 2 bikes? Pastrana, with 1 bad race on the season, has got to get up there and make something happen. With VUILLEMIN, he's got a good point standing.
Well, you know, the mindset is so important going into these races. Morocco could be feeling like, you know, I'm not going to get that fortunate 2 weeks in a row. Got to continue to do what I do, get up on the podium, win the ones that are within reach, but not take unnecessary chances. VUILLEMIN, same thing. But for Travis and Ricky, man, they want to win tonight.
So Morocco was able to get in front of McGrath. Let's go to Davey.
Well, guys, this race is kind of played into Morocco's hands. We've seen him get bad starts all the time, and on this kind of track, where you guys were talking about the fact that there's a lot of block passing stuff, Morocco is able to move all the way up to 4th, and you know what? He's got time to get after VUILLEMIN in 3rd.
He just passed Fonseca.
And he did it the hard way, Art. I was talking about in his heat race, the ability to turn on flat ground, everyone having to go wide. Morocco able to get in there on that flat ground and just hook up better than everybody else. Maybe he's a little heavier. He used to use that 20-inch front wheel, which would hook up. Looks like he's gone back to the 21. But still, that ability to turn on flat was what set up the pass on Fonseca.
You can hear these races live on the webcast. ESPN.com. Get the results as they happen. Here's our leader, Ricky Carmichael.
He's got Pastrana bearing down on him. Pastrana's last lap, 4/10 faster. So VUILLEMIN is probably a little bit on the mind of Travis. He knows he can't afford to worry about that too much. He's trying to catch Ricky, and he is.
Travis Pastrana really twisted a knee very badly. And then he came back to win a qualifying heat.
Fastest laps of the night.
Amazing. And now here he's trying to catch up with the leader, Ricky Carmichael, who Carmichael now is gaining his confidence back. You see, is 4/10 of a second better on the lap time right there.
Not enough. You get into lap riders, at times, not always, but at times, that gap closes a little bit, and I'll explain that. The leader coming around, some of the lap riders don't realize they're coming, but once the leader goes by, they tend to get out of the way for everybody else, and that could be the advantage of Travis and VUILLEMIN, who are staying close.
David VUILLEMIN, for him, another consistent, good run as he tries for his 4th straight podium.
A little bit past the halfway point now, and VUILLEMIN And Travis picked up another couple of tenths on Ricky out front. As long as that gap continues to close and you push Carmichael, a lot of riders feel like he's so on the edge that if you apply a lot of pressure, he wants to win so bad, he'll hang it out and make mistakes and possibly go down. That's what these guys are counting on.
Well, VUILLEMIN surprised McGrath here 2 years ago, and he snuck up on him and took a win right away from Jeremy as we look at our top 5. We'll be right back with 250 action. Carmichael, our leader, but Pastrana in second place. Ricky Carmichael at Bank One Ballpark. Every seat sold in this ballpark, standing room only. A near 50,000 fans. As Ricky Carmichael looking for a breakthrough race on this season.
Looking good so far. His lines look good. He's relaxed. No big mistakes. Doesn't look like he's riding on the edge to me. He hops through that loop section once. Once in, once out. He's only touching one move in that whole section. Just incredible. Watch him hop up on the top of this tabletop and then jump off. That's the faster line. He's doing it every lap.
Let's put a Honda stopwatch on the first and second place riders as we look at Carmichael's bike. It looks a little different to me now from the start of the season.
Well, I think they're riding it a little bit higher. It was so low to begin with. I don't think he had any suspension travel left. But I think they've made that adjustment. Cliff White over there indicated to me that they were going to be working on that and trying to improve it. It looks like they have. They've got a good setup. This is also, we talked about it at the top of the show, great dirt for Ricky Carmichael. He's very familiar with this sandy clay type soil. So is Travis. Very similar to what we'll see later in the season at St. Louis, where he decided to ride 2 classes because he liked it so much.
Trackside with Davey.
Guys, one name we're not mentioning is Tim Ferry, the Yamaha factory rider. David VUILLEMIN's teammate crashed really hard in the semi-race. They took him away in the ambulance, although it looked like it was just a broken rib. But Tim Ferry's troubles in this 2002 A Sports Supercross season continue here in Phoenix.
And Travis Pastrana's last lap, another 4 tenths faster than this has been going back and forth. Jeremy and Fonseca, they've usually with each other, they've allowed Ramsey to get through. But out front, Travis is trying to tighten the screws a little bit on Carmichael, and he has been.
Travis Pastrana inching up.
And in doing that, he's pulled away from VUILLEMIN now. He doesn't have to protect his line anymore. Ramsey doing an excellent job of getting past both these guys.
Less than 4 laps to go.
Real impressed with Fonseca to be sitting out for that long. Just jump back in it. And not just luck out with a good start. He had to work his way into these spots. Dice it up with these guys a little bit. He's holding his own right now against perhaps the best ever.
Carmichael looking for his 16th career victory. There's VUILLEMIN. And Fonseca, that's Jeremy McGrath and Fonseca. McGrath number 2, Fonseca number 24.
You know, it's encouraging to see that McGrath is still actually racing for a position, because at this point in the race, in the first 3 rounds, he was so tight. He was just a sitting duck out there, and everyone was just riding up, catching him, passing him, and pulling away. But here he's actually still in a little bit of a battle, and that's a good sign for the weeks to come.
25, 24, Team Hondas. There, Ramsey and Fonseca, and Jeremy McGrath. His best finish, Fonseca, was a 3rd, and that was the opening round, as Jeremy McGrath makes the move.
That's what Fonseca tried to do to him a while ago when Jeremy was leading.
Well, that's encouraging. He's looking more relaxed right now.
Well, he's got to work on his speed. That's the one thing I've noticed. Even in the laps before he's gotten tight, the last 3 rounds and all week, yesterday and today, his speed has been just a few tenths off. As soon as he can pick that up, his confidence will come back, and the arm thing will be like, you won't even remember that.
McGrath did not win till the 7th round in '97. And then came back and won the championship. He holds the record jointly with Stanton, who back in the early 90s waited to the 7th round, the longest, and still winning a title.
I think Skip was motioning to him, run down Ramsey. As Jeremy entered the loop section, you could see Ramsey at the end. Jeremy's got to be a little bit more confident than Ramsey. Ramsey's riding well, but against the Jeremy that's not pumped up, Jeremy's got to stay in at least hope that he can still make up another spot before the end of the race.
Chad Watts with times on the board as Carmichael rides by him. This could be a very historic night for American Honda as well, as they have not won a race since Kevin Windham in April of 2000, 45 events ago. So American Honda going after the defending champion, Ricky Carmichael. 1 lap to go. And Ricky Carmichael will have his first win of the season, his 16th of his career, as he laps Damon Huffman.
It's a great ride for Ricky, a big confidence builder. He didn't just get the hole shot. He had to work for this, and he also had to hold off Pastrana and VUILLEMIN. Both those guys coming into the main event had the fastest laps of the weekend, and Ricky was able to keep him back there, keep the pressure off. Now, the only thing that's really in question is, as long as Ricky stays upright, is can Travis hold off VUILLEMIN, who was closed back in.
Ricky Carmichael on his final lap. He's not celebrating anything right now. He'll look at the crowd, both hands on the bars. He will be tied with the French great Jean-Michel Bayle on the all-time Supercross win list. 8th place, the Checkers. A jubilant Ricky Carmichael, his first win of the season. The Checkers for Ricky Carmichael, as you see Skip and Chad Watts shaking hands there. So Carmichael comes through, a historic win for him, his first win with Team Honda.
That's a load off his shoulders. He's fist pumping and looking like he just took over the points lead. But now that he's back on track, remember he ran off 13 in a row last year, so when this guy gets hot, he's dangerous, and a 30-point lead or so is not solid with Ricky on fire.
On the Honda results page, that's appropriate, because we got a Honda on top. Ricky Carmichael, his first win of the season. The comeback is on. Pastrana and VUILLEMIN make the podium with LaRocco, Ramsey McGrath, Fonseca, Byrne, and Lusk. An interesting race, to say the least, David Bailey. Ricky Carmichael's first win of the season. Ricky Carmichael is definitely back. Davies with the happy, and I would assume much relieved, defending champion.
Well, champ, welcome back.
Davey, it feels great. Got a good start. Jeremy ran it in hard on the outside and got the whole shot, and I was second, and didn't do an obstacle. A couple guys got by me, and riding a little tight there at the beginning, and you know, everyone was coming in on everybody, and I was just trying to stay up, and once things panned out, I tell you, I got that Honda working good, and man, I'm so happy. Finally, it's just like, man, it's so good to get that first one under my belt, and everyone was riding great.
You know, this is the race last year where you started that epic winning streak. You feel like you can get another one going?
I'd like to think so, but you know, everybody's riding so good, and you have to be on top of your game, bottom line, and David's riding really well, and you know, he's a guy we got to go for.
Good ride tonight, Ricky.
Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Looking at the Honda point standings, VUILLEMIN adds a couple to his lead. Consistency by VUILLEMIN and LaRocco. Marcy picks up 5 of the leader. Pastrana's coming on strong. Let's go back to Davey.
Travis, that looked like a very exciting race right there in the beginning.
Wow, it was amazing. People going everywhere, and Ron kind of scared me a few times, but he went down instead of cleaning me out, so I got to thank him a little bit for that. But, man, just rode a pretty smart race for me. I mean, I didn't fall or anything, and got out to a decent start with my Sobe Suzuki Michelin, so we'll see. It's another long season.
And you've had 3 consistent finishes on the podium 3 weeks in a row.
3 podiums, that was my goal coming in, but now I want to win. So it's good. There's a lot of great competition, though.
Good job, Travis. And over here, David, you didn't get the win, but you stayed on the podium all 4 times this year, and you're still the points leader.
Yeah, I feel good, but, you know, I could ride a little bit more aggressive that race. And, you know, I think it took me a long time to get in the race and get, like, kind of aggressive. But, you know, that's I didn't like the track too much. There's no wolves, and it wasn't very technical. So that's okay for the rest of the season. You know, I feel confident, and I didn't get tired too much today. So I feel confident for Anaheim, and hopefully I'll be good in the East Coast too.